Saturday top-up time and precarious times. Good morning, Glenn.
Yeah, precarious weather you mean, Mark?
Yeah.
Well, it's dusty over here.
Yeah, look, there is a very, very light rain band coming through at the moment, but Weather Zone seems to think heavy rain at 12 o'clock. So certainly there is a lot of activity this afternoon meteorologically. And also forecast quite high winds. I didn't realize the winds were meant to get up to 40 plus Ks from the northeast.
How exciting.
So that, yeah, we've got a bit happening here, and obviously
mixes the apple cart up a bit with a couple of later on in the day with horses that look to get complete control.
Yeah, and we've got some short price favourites that, one of them was pulled out last week because the track was wet. So not saying that the track is certainly fast at the moment, but, if it's going to rain intermittently and or consistently through the day, then that will change things up a bit. I would say it would probably help North Pacific in its race. I don't know about Ollie Kirk, but we'll get to that. Scratchings, well, I made a complete goose of myself straight away on the previous show saying that no one would pull out of the Inglis $2 million race, and lo and behold, there's 2 scratchings.
Yeah, but they get shinny and things happen overnight.
Of course they do. I'm sure the intention wasn't to scratch.
Yeah,
I'd say he's had problems with that sneaky 5 based on what it's been trolling like, and who knows what happened to Matt Smith's. Well, it's weird. He scratched one to get one in, didn't he? All right, so let's have a look at the activity in race 1, which is fairly light, I think. Obviously, it's a query race. It's a mounting yard mail race. Is that showing up okay for you?
Yeah, but we're at profit here for some reason. We're nowhere near race 1.
Yeah, it's a long way away, isn't it? It's the wrong race. Let's get back to an earlier race, which is this one here. There we go. So yeah, not a lot happening. 1300 matched on the opening favourite, which is not as short as I thought it might be, but obviously it's a race of many queries. And Glenn, you made strong cases for the 2 blue colours. Track pattern will be important for them.
Yeah, I think we'll get a good read of the track straight after this race because we've got 10 runners. We've got go forward horses. Gaybot down the bottom there as well. And then we've got the blouses, which will be the blue colours. We'll get a good feel for the track straight away, and then Connexia will be positioned somewhere up there on the inside, and will it finish off, and blah blah blah. So a good start to the it's a good guide.
It's a litmus test, really. Race 1. Race 2, the highway is the first of the short prices. Another one is mid $2 range at the moment, and 3,000 matched on the fair there, sitting there at about 280. Commando Hunt is the fixed odds firmer, but
there is actually it's probably Gord's money.
It's not reflected at all there on the fair. Not to say you can have a lot on the $10 there, but given that it's 10 into 6.5 fixed, and nobody could be bothered to have $36 on it at $10 there, seems odd. So it is double figures bar there on the fair, as you can see. The favourite. Well, I suppose it's found a nice highway to run into. Gord is our highway man, and he seems to think this is a relatively deep highway, which does suggest that you should be wanting a slightly better price number 1.
Just there it is. We spoke about.
Yeah, there really isn't much else we can say about the race. T. Berry's horse has also had a bit of support. Red Kanzi, obviously he's.
He's a go-to rider, isn't he?
Go-to rider for sure.
As a horse above it, the same price range, there's been $20 transaction. Here's $550, so
yeah,
certainly some interest, especially down the bottom there, number 15.
Race 3, this race has lost Starboy, who had tie-back surgery and is now staying in his stable up at Scone. Space Boys, some interest in. The favourite is sitting there at $1.40-ish with 11,000 matched. It's particularly unappealing race, isn't it, Glenn?
It's just awful. But interested from the parade just to see how the favourite parades. If the favourite ticked all boxes and walked beautifully, I could actually take $1.50 this, which is odd for me.
But the scratching appears to assist Space Boy and or possibly Royal
Yeah.
Witness. I mean, look, it shouldn't matter. The I presume he's got group intentions for this horse, and you know, this is her second barrier trial.
Tommy Berry loves a lure. He loves to hunt him down.
All right, that's enough.
He's not. I'll tell you what he is. Also, he's a very honest jockey. Bloody hell, he tries on everything.
As all jockeys do, Glenn.
Yeah.
Race 5 is this is an interesting favourite here. April Rain. She's tooled up nicely and twice at Canterbury off the long spell. Just you know, done her job with aplomb on both occasions, and she gets what seems to be a good looking race of mares, 1300. Just sit midfield and see what she can do with the left blinker.
She'll round him up again because T Berry would have won the last, and J Mac will be on this one, and it's going to be an almighty struggle throughout the year. He'll want to get one straight back and not let him get away. I know how this J Mac thinks.
Yeah, 6,500 match there. The favourite seems to be in place. Fashionel has had a small amount of support at double figure odds. It's resuming off a long enough spell, I suppose. Last raced at Grafton on Ramornie Day. And Madam Legend is just hanging in there with Starla, some sort of hope, because she's running as well as she possibly can. But plenty of chances there, whereas Chris has actually got a lightly raced non-number just at the moment in the shape of the favourite there, April Rain.
It's a horse.
All right, race 5. This is the $2 million Inglis race, restricted to horses that went through Inglis sales. Profiteer, they tried to give you trying to lure you in at $1.55 midday after the scratching of Sneaky 5 yesterday. That seems excessively tight. 10,000 match there on the fair, mid 1/8s. Some money for the horse that we focused on yesterday, Paper Daisy, into $14 fixed. And
well, you do, Mark.
Yeah.
Just another unappealing restricted race. Watching parades, send the numbers out. Don't think I'll be doing much.
It'll get very appealing if there's a bit of rain activity, you know, in the front half of the card, and this race gets a bit messy.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, like Profiteer. Okay, it's had one run down the straight at Flemington where it led all the way. We've seen one horse come out of that race and didn't frank the form, but didn't say the form was shit either. I know that I was interested in the story you told about the fact that Henry Field had been advised by Daniel O'Sullivan about the merits of this horse's rating from its first run. I'm surprised he didn't get a Waterhouse read on the horse, Glenn. I would have had Henry down as a Waterhouse man.
Oh yeah, but then maybe you never know. I'm particularly successful, Henry Field, so he might be on the out of there. They only like hanging around poor people like me.
Yeah. Look, anyway,
he's a marvel. He's a marvel, Henry Field. Yeah. Absolute marvel. Best ever.
Anyway, look, it's a great race for the parade. Obviously, 16 2-year-olds trying to fit into that mounting yard there. That gets a bit tight, doesn't it?
It gets a bit tight, yeah. That's interesting too, especially the more inexperienced, lesser bred types.
Yeah. Okay. Obviously, all eyes on the favourite, given the story and the fact that it's been it's been highly touted for this race for a while.
Our horse that we've got, Intolerant, it's from the sale, isn't it?
Yep.
So we've missed our chance to get in the 3-year-old millions race.
We've missed our chance for this race, which was last year, and race 7, which is this year. Yeah.
Okay. Is there a 4-year-old millions race?
No.
Damn.
Right,
what about a 4-year-old $500,000 race?
Okay, yeah. Anyway. Gaze pulled out the leader. Well, the supposed leader based on the maps here, which does give the face, should enable the face to get across fairly easily. As far as the North Pacific is the fixed odds firmer here, I mentioned that I would think that a deterioration of the track would help him. Just take some sting out of the the more precocious types in the race. He's into odds on fixed odds. Only 3,300 match there at low 2s. Peltzer still looks quite attractive there, given it's Gerald Fresh, and it did get its act together, obviously over longer distances. But I know that North Pacific and Peltzer raced a couple of times against each other in that lead up to the Golden Rose, well, in the lead up to the Golden Rose and the Golden Rose. But I would have thought that Peltzer had the chance to turn the tables on North Pacific in this race, especially given the divergence in prices. Prague, an interesting horse resuming here, Glenn, that you'll want to get a look at. And
I want to get a look at it. It does.
Yeah.
There does 2.5 winning numbers, though, doesn't it? Like 3A and 1's a close B. And the face now that does get complete control of C. I can't see another winning chance there, really.
Yeah, but now Gerald deep in the prep, you'll definitely be. You want to see how he is handling that that depth of preparation. The $1 million 3-year-old race for the sale horses, and Ollie Kirk is a bit longer than his stablemate in the earlier race. What can we deduce here? No great activity on the fair. There doesn't seem to be anything particularly about the fixed odds movements that offers us any insight. Track pattern obviously will be important. The return of Dame Giselle off a pretty good last preparation, but a time when Snowden was going a fair bit better. So that's got to be obviously put into the mix. And is there a wild card, Glenn, that have you got your eye on at all?
I'm interested in, I think 1 will win. I thought 7 could place, but I think because it went like a rocket the other day. As you know, I prefer 7 to place compared to horses like the Bopper and Malkovich. And I'm looking at the horse I think is going to finish off well here is 7, but is there a spot for a place? Because I suppose Dame Giselle, even if it goes terribly, should run a hole.
Yeah. The Bopper back to the scene of the crime here. I guess he might need the track to be playing inside a bit. This is the race with my best roughie, which is from the despised Hayes Dabeneg yard. Or is it just Hayes and Dabeneg now that David's racked off?
Who knows? Number 11 you're talking about, Bella Nipotina.
Gun to ride, and
let's have our first even billion. I'll have Rocketing Buyer. You can have Bella Nipotina.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good.
Another billion bet.
All right, the penultimate, and here is the all-time legend schmoozing across to the lead here, and the question mark is, can Mount Popper, who's resuming off a pretty long spell, and isn't necessary that well, it doesn't seem that sort of much of a freshy type, but can it run it down? It's a bit of a yuck race, isn't it, Glenn?
So boring, it's unbelievable.
Let's.
I suppose if you have 1,900 on and shoots away by 3 lengths at the 300, it's not boring. But
yeah, Daly, I can imagine Daly on Monday's show going, yeah, it wasn't boring at all, Glenn. I marked it at $1.60, and I loaded up at $1.90, and
he said that last week to me about Savatiano. I said, oh, what a boring race that was. But it's not if you back the winner.
No, of course.
He's quite right.
All right. Well, he's an interesting favourite. Blazer Trail, trained by Matthew Vella out at Hawkesbury, who handled that horse I mentioned on Wednesday's top-up show that went through the ready to runs. Okay, so it's second up from a long spell. It started out with Snowden. It had its first race start in the Golden Gift, won by Dame Giselle. And this was a horse that had trialled really well. It actually led the Golden Gift. I think Malkovich had to sit outside. And then it disappeared from Snowden's, ended up with Matthew Vella. He resumed it in a provincial country maiden, and then it beat up one of Gay's slow horses in a mile race at Newcastle. Long spell, couple of good trials, comes back in a 1300 won by Tokernist. Moseyed home, particularly well, dropped shake, left shake in its wake. But here it is with another 3 weeks off, 1300 up to a mile, gate 1, and they want to sell you less than $3.
It was particularly hateable. Is that a word?
Or just hateful.
Hateful.
Hateable, yeah, that's okay. Skylab, another wild card horse here. Paul Perry, practically double figures at Wyong, first up off a staying win at home, and got the job done sweetly, but now just appears in a Saturday thick mile race at Randwick, and they want to say, get on, boys.
Here's 92.
That's left a lot of horses that started single figures in a Saturday race last start. I just speak of Ulysses, Salika. Pitchfork has been back to the midweeks, but St. Covert Spirit, Zing,
Dabari,
Blondo. Yeah, they're all double figures today. They're all single
one of them will win. One of them will win. You just got to get your dart out. Maybe back 2 of them.
Yeah, look, that's quite an intoxicating race, really, given that you've got these two sort of whales in the bay. You know, you've got
Yeah,
the
I agree.
Razor Trail that's got the flashing light on it, and you've got the provincial wild card that you know, doesn't fit any sort of profile, Skylab. So yeah, delicious betting race, the last. I'm really looking forward to that one.
Me too.
And Glenn's also looking forward to getting back on the rant on Monday. Special guest Richard Friedman.
Oh, that'd be great.
That's if he doesn't dance away from us in the meantime. He can be a bit elusive. Paul Daly, of course, will be on the front end of the rant to discuss all things times relating to this meeting, which could be interesting if we get a deteriorating track. And obviously the wind being a factor. So that presents an interesting issue for Paul to deal with on Monday. You get a lot of content for not very much money on this show. You get 5 videos a week. You get sets from me twice a week. You get the all-important Mounty Yard Mail, which carded it on Wednesday. And even better than that, if you've not tried us before, you get 2 weeks for free. So it's
you haven't got much to lose for 2 weeks for free, do you, mate?
That's right. And add to that, obviously, you know, we talk about all things betting, and we've been.
And then we sway off some subjects, and you can email in us and join in the conversation, or get on the chat room, which is full of personalities, none bigger than Gord, who abuses everybody and then tips them moral.
But of course, we've been Glenn and I have been in the betting ring for eons, and Dave Dwyer's been in the betting ring for the last 2 decades, and he's Sydney's biggest bookie. And he's also kind enough to offer a rebate to ranters who put 500 in an account for the first time. He will pay your first 4 weeks of rant subscription. So that's a place that you may be interested in going to. So open an account with Dave Dwyer, put 500 in, and you get at least possibly $116 added to your account.
Yeah. I feel like one of those ads. And we've now doubled the offer. No, we haven't really.
But wait, there's more. Well, there always is more. So as I say, ranters look forward to Richard Friedman on Monday, and we hope to see you then. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.